Hi there, in the second tutorial here on extruded components, we're again going to be looking at using the extrude and subtract commands, and we're going to be reducing the top part and the sides to the frame there. For that top level, it's successful looking for all components to be modelled accurately, so we need to make sure we're getting our dimensions correct for everything there. So we jump into Inventor. I've already got it open there, but we can find that under Autodesk Inventor in your menu, and when it starts up it should look something like this here. It won't have all the components down here. Again, we're going to go up to New here on the page, click on the page icon, and we're going to click Make Sure we're Metric, and we go Standard Millimeters there, and we can click Create. In this part here, we're going to create the top. So we're going to go up Start 2D Sketch up here, click the big icon there, and again it's bringing us up our planes that we can select. So we're going to click on that flat kind of horizontal plane. Remember, this is taking us into our sketching environment as if we were drawing on a sheet of paper there. Now, depending on whether you've just kept going from the last tutorial, we're going to use the rectangle tool, and we're going to use rectangle 2-point center. So we need to click that little drop down below arrow and make sure we're below the rectangle icon and click rectangle 2-point center there. Again, we're going to hover over the middle until it goes green. At that point there, we're going to click, and then we're going to drag out. Rather than click again, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type the dimensions as we drag it out. So you can see there's a dark blue box on my left hand side there. So we'll make that 80. And then I'm going to hit the tab button, and I'm going to type in 90. And again, it's done that thing where it kind of disappears. So I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to click zoom all, and we can see what we're working on there. So we've got a box, a box. It's 80 by 90 millimeters. If you didn't find it tricky adding dimensions there, remember you can go up to the dimension tool up here, and you can click on the line you want, and then click again to position your dimension. You can only have one dimension for each line. For example, if I put in this 80 here, and we've already got an 80 over this right hand side here, it's saying adding this dimension will over-constrain the sketch. So basically, I'll just cancel that. It's saying there's too many sketches because this dimension here is already telling the computer that this line and this line both have to be 80 because it's a box. Okay. And if you just drew 4 square lines in there and you didn't have anything else going on, it would allow you to dimension each line. But because it's a box, we just need the 2 dimensions there. So we'll just click Finish Sketch, and we can just zoom out again. Should have highlighted in the last tutorial as well. We've got a little view cube up here where you can move it around there as well. And you also got the home icon, home button there, which takes you to the home view. So we've now got our box drawn out. We can click Extrude. So just going to click on that there, and we want to add a dimension of 20 millimeters there. And we can just click OK on that there. And that's going to extrude a box up 20 mil. We're going to draw another sketch because we need to have a hole in the top of this, which the sweets are dropped through from the jar. So we're going to click Start 2D Sketch, and we're going to click on the top there. And it doesn't matter quite which way your rectangle is, but it's important that we've got that rectangle centered on that cross, and that would have been based on our first sketch that we've done. So we can click Circle on this case, and we're going to hover over that center point again, and going to click there. It's really important we're nice and accurate when we click there. I'm just going to drag that out and create a circle there. Then go up to the dimension tool up here. Going to click on the circle, and I'm going to click off there to position it, and then I'm going to type in a dimension of 30, and then we're going to click Finish Sketch. And then I'm going to go up to the Extrude tool again, and by default it's wanting to add a kind of cylinder on top of that there. That's what we call an extrude. We want to do a subtract extrude, so we hover down, and in Inventor we call that cut. And we can click cut there. It's doing it for a distance of 20 mil, which is the thickness there, so that's great. So we can just click OK, and there we have it. We've got our top with a hole down the middle there. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to head up to the default one, which is the right of these 2 little drop down menus, and you should have the option there to kind of change the material, and I recommend going for a yellow pine. There we are. Now I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and I'm going to call that Frame Top. I'm just going to call it 1 because I've modeled that before. and save. Making sure you save it in the same area. If you've just done this after the frame base, it should save it in the same folder, but just make sure that these parts are all saved together. Next up, I'm just going to keep going, and we're just going to do the signs. These are just a small part, and will only take a minute to do. So we're going to go up to File, we're going to go to New there, and don't be tempted to click Part there. Click on the New, and making sure we're selecting Metric and Standard Millimeters there, and click Create. And again, we're going to go to Start 2D Sketch up the top left here, and we're going to click on that flat plane there. We're going to go to the rectangle. We're going to just use what we call a 2-point rectangle. So we're going to click on the little drop down arrow below the word rectangle. I'm going to click 2-point. Then I'm going to click on that green point there, and making sure that's going green. And then we're going to click there. I'm going to add some dimensions. So I'm going to click on the line, click off the line, add a dimension of 80, click on the line, click off the line, and add a dimension of 25. And I can click Finish Sketch there. And then we're going to go for Extrude. And it's automatically picked up that sketch region, so we're going to add a height there of 20, and we can click OK there. And then we're going to go up to Default, and again I'm going to change the appearance so it's kind of yellow pine. And I'm going to go File, I'm going to go Save As, and I'm going to call that Frame Side. I've already saved something like that, so I'm just going to call it Frame Side 1. Again, making sure it's the same area there, and we can click Save. So we've now done, in the first 2 tutorials, our frame base, our top, and our sides there as well. And we only need to do one side because both sides are the same. We'll be able to put that part into our assembly twice when we come to that in a later tutorial there.